Howdy. Today I'm going to be talking about how this game does a lot of things better than that one. This game. That one. Yeah. Look, just hear me out for a second. Fall Guys is a platformer released by a small indie team in August 2020, where he plays a little bean dude who runs and jumps and that's it through a number of courses and challenges. The game pits 60 small children against each other, slowly eliminating them throughout the rounds until there's one winner. You know, like a battle royale. Oh, what the fuck? Look, it was made in the late 2010s. You can't blame him for jumping on the bandwagon. Battle Royale were the only two words I was legally allowed to say at the time. The game achieved massive success seemingly out of nowhere, yet despite constant efforts from the marketing team, couldn't seem to hold it for more than 2 months before jumping off a cliff, for no discernible reason. Despite this, unknown to most people, the game actually still has a pretty strong following, with 5,000 Steam players, Fall Guys at any given time. Fast forward a year or so, and we get Crab Game, a game which was sent from God in the heavens themselves, or this guy, same difference. It's first person, fast paced, and despite simplicity and looks and controls, has a surprising amount of depth with a lot to learn, and this video is 100% biased towards it. Anyways, platformers are one of my favorite genres, so I've played a fair amount of Fall Guys since its release. This video was originally just supposed to be me talking about it. And Crab Game came out, and I stopped playing it. Yeah, that was 7 months ago, shut up. Because to me, Crab Game seems to fix a lot of problems that most likely let their Fall Guys fall from popularity.
Ah, nice joke, idiot.
So, yeah, if you couldn't tell, I made the majority of this video before the free-to-play update. But, I'm just not going to change anything, because the only real differences are that my bad popularity jokes don't work, and the player base has gone way more spread out in terms of skill, just not in the right direction. I think you'll see what I mean. And also, I don't want to work on this anymore. Okay, back to the video, enjoy. Fall from popularity. Woo! And that's where I came up with the idea for this video, as after a couple months of hardcore pondering, I think I've come up with a few good reasons why. 3 to be exact. The first one being pretty easy to notice, because after jumping back into Fall Guys, I think I'm pretty comfortable saying, it's a bit slow. Okay, maybe more than a bit. I mean, I can see why. When you only got a small budget, and indie multiplayer's game's strongest chance of surviving is to make it as accessible as possible. But you don't have to appeal to kids by making it feel like you're controlling one. Fall Guys' movement is to say in one word, awkward. The characters ragdoll the slightest touch or fall and take a generation to get back up. There's no real sense of center of balance, so you never really know where you can and can't walk without rolling off, and the movement options in general are just extremely restrictive, with things like climbing and swinging feeling like small cutscenes rather than fluid motion. All of this culminates in a movement system with an extremely low skill base, but one that brings down the potential skill ceiling with it. Also as low as the characters dive. This also doesn't just affect the player, but the levels themselves. Of course, this level design can only be as complicated as the game allows for it, and in Fall Guys that's barely at all. Crab Game technically has less movement options than Fall Guys, but somehow executes them flawlessly. The slide allows you to gain speed through crouch jumping and sliding off ramps, where different angles and timing of the slide will drastically change the outcome. This mechanic, while incredibly simple, opens the door for so many different level outlays, with each having normal walkways, but hidden tricks and shortcuts, some of which I still can't even do. Look at this guy in my lobby just jumped across 2 tiles. Steven! What the fuck did you do that? At this point I wouldn't be surprised if someone figured out how to fly, like goddamn. Fall Guys doesn't have this. Because the game is forced to treat you like a baby, most obstacles can be easily mastered in 2 or 3 attempts, making many stages feel repetitive and stale, because once you figured out the level, it kinda turns into a glorified walking simulator. This also means that the stages themselves take no role in picking apart the good players from the bad, and when both the players and the stage have no control, well, the winner is decided by something a little less...
Are you kidding me?
Fair? RNG is a fickle thing. It's a common selling point for battle royales, but there's a strong emphasis on adaptability early on as you figure out how the hell to kill the guy with a nuke using a plunger. And yeah, when you drop next to a guy and he gets gun and you do not get gun, so he kills you with gun, that's an easy thing to blame on RNG, but like, come on. You knew what you were doing. You didn't have to land there. You could have just seen the guy and gone to fucking 50 flowers. Or Costco. This is what makes this type of RNG work. You're the one who chooses how much you want to leave up the chance, and even then, it still only affects the game just enough to shake things up a bit. Crab Game implements this as well, but instead of risk and reward being controlled by guns and cool sword, the player is driven by much more enlightened things, like not being a goddamn nerd. Like in tag, you could just go to a secluded corner and hide, but doing so comes with the risk of disappointing your parents. And, yeah, also dying. You could also jump around the rooftops, reaping all the benefits of the high ground, but if you fall, you might be a bit embarrassed. And also death. You can even try and make a team with your fellow survivors until Steven hits you off.
Oh,
you die. Huh. Each round feels really unique. Despite there being up to 40 players in a round, it never feels overwhelming as the stage's large size and use of different vertical layers makes it so that only the first 10 seconds you can already determine who's running, who's out, and who should probably go outside. How the fuck? Anyways, if we take an anthropology study over to Fall Guys, 10 seconds in we can clearly see a blob. Okay, well, hey, Mondays, am I right? Let's take a look at another, and it's a different blob. Okay. You might be asking why this happens, and that's because Fall Guys actually runs on a completely different sense of RNG, which instead of saying for random number generator, it means random fucking bullshit. Fall Guys maps feel almost claustrophobic, making artificial difficulty of the fact that only so many people can fit through that gap, so you better hope that the guy up front doesn't fall hitting the guy who's the guy who's the guy, resulting in a chain reaction that ends with you getting hit by a 2011 Honda Civic. Since there's no real way to break away from the pack, the beginning 9% of a lot of maps feel kinda useless, especially in the timed ones, and I think the fact that the game's only way of interacting with others is the grab doesn't really help. Punching is simple. You hit a guy and they suspend you from teaching. Hide and seek, came the hill, tag, without explosives. All childhood games that have stood the test of time for generations can be played by just having the ability to smack a bitch. Grabbing on the other hand is just weird. Like, how long does it hold for? What happens when you let go? How fast do you both move? What if you got your back? That's kind of hot. The answer to all these questions is it doesn't matter because it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. Every minigame based around it is basically the same because no matter what the game's objective, it grinds it to a halt. Punching is also just an essential part of crab game itself because like any good battle royale, there's more incentive to take the risk and kill the oblivious guy rather than just focus on surviving because at the very least it takes one more player out of the running. In games that don't require it, there's pretty much no reason to grab someone in Fall Guys. It barely ever affects them and almost always sets you back as well. And this begs the question, if you have a battle royale, but there's no reason to battle royale, is it even a battle royale? Look, if you haven't noticed, I've been exaggerating a tiny bit for the past 4 or so minutes. So let me be honest for 1 in 6 seconds. Crab game, it's a goddamn joke game. It was made in a week as a meme. It's unpolished, kind of ugly, and has its own problems, but it doesn't matter. Because at its core, it just works. It's a tiny cottage home with the base of titanium that lets players build off of it however they want. Fall Guys is a beautiful mansion that has some really interesting and unique rooms, but look a little closer and you'll see that the walls are made of paper. Half the rooms are just painted to look like one, and the rest of it has been under construction for so long that I got legitimately excited when they made a map that lets you move fast. In Season 7. The point is, adding Ninja Fortnite won't bring back the kids, or solve the insane loading times, or add some use to the grab, or let me look up. But talking about Fall Guys' overlying problems would make the video 20 minutes long, and in the end, I don't think fixing any of those would actually solve the core issue. But seriously though, why can't I look up? You have a goddamn volleyball game, it's a third-person game, why the In Crab Game, what you do affects the overall outcome of the game, and when you win, it's because you outplayed your opponents, but the same goes for when you lose. In Fall Guys, it never really feels like you fall either way. You can't take shortcuts because all the paths take the same time. You can't do anything to affect other players. I mean, for God's sakes, most of the time your placement in a race is decided by what row you started in. You can't do anything.
Sir, this is a children's game.
Mario 64 has been out for 26 years and has a better camera than this shit. But I do think that there's one thing that ties the whole package together, at least for Crab Game. And before you get your nips twisted being like, ooh, Fall Guys doesn't have that, I would like to remind you that I wear the pants in this video, and revolutionaries will be shot in sight. I did have a script for this next part, but, you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and a video's like 10 words. Wait, no. I'll just show you what I mean instead.
Hey, what's up, gang?
Yo, what's up, SpongeBob?
Well, let me do something. Yo, hit him up and bridge.
Oh my god, I made that. Jesus,
Oh my god, it's Ninja.
scares me every time.
I don't think I can make the jump to my right, so this breaks I'm coming to you.
Slight problem with that.
Wait,
Wait, we're good, we're good.
no, dude. Okay, dude. Truce. Shut the fuck up. Truce. Truce at top. Oh, fuck.
Hey, yo, which one was it, man? Back here, bro. Was it left or right?
Right, it's this one. The one I'm looking at.
Yeah.
The one I'm looking at is this one.
Wait, you're 16 years old?
Nah, I'm 15.
Jesus Christ.
I know God did me dirty, right?
Sorry. We're boys here. See, we're good. It's the power of friendship.
Friendship is everything.
I'm dead. I killed him. Woo!
How do y'all feel? My friend won. How do y'all feel?
Now, if you think I included that part to get fake revenge on a guy who killed me one time, yeah, no, totally, yeah, totally. But yeah, if you're still here, thanks for watching. Honestly, this kind of took a while, so, you know, if you liked YouTube stuff, like stuff, all that stuff. Season 7, I thought it was pretty good, you know. I think the speed maps are really, really good compared to some of the old ones. Obviously, they didn't work on half the maps, that's per usual, but I just think they need to just put more effort into the actual base game itself instead of marketing, but that's not exactly the hottest take. Yeah, anyways, that's all it. Okay, bye-bye. Love you.